Ladies and gentlemen, the mind is a powerful machine. It can build dreams, shape futures, and open doors. But left undisciplined, it can also be your greatest enemy. Filled with doubt, fear, and distraction. If you don't take control of your thinking, someone else will. And if you let the world dictate your thoughts, you'll live according to someone else's plan. So today, I want to talk about how to discipline your thinking, because success is not just about working harder, it's about thinking better. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and negativity, don't be surprised when your life is filled with anxiety and frustration. Discipline starts with awareness. Be mindful of what you allow into your thoughts. You wouldn't put junk fuel into a race car and expect it to win. Your mind works the same way. Read books that challenge you. Listen to mentors who inspire you. Fill your thoughts with ideas that empower you, not weaken you. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, eventually you'll believe it. But the same is true in reverse. Train yourself to speak words of strength and confidence. Instead of "I can't," say "I'm learning." Instead of "I'm not good at this," say "I'm getting better every day." There will always be people who try to plant weeds in your mind. Those who say, "That's impossible," or "You're wasting your time." Discipline means learning to say, "I hear you, but I don't accept that." Protect your mental space like a fortress. Weak thinking is focused on the next 24 hours. Strong thinking is focused on the next 10 years. Ask yourself, if I continue thinking like this, where will it lead me? If your thoughts aren't serving your future, it's time to change them. Discipline isn't just about what you avoid, it's also about what you practice. Set aside time every morning to think intentionally. Reflect on your goals. Write down ideas. Take 5 minutes to focus on what matters most. What you do daily shapes what you become. An undisciplined mind accepts thoughts without question. A disciplined mind asks, is this true? Is this useful? Just because you think something doesn't mean it's right. Sharpen your mind by testing your own ideas. Two people look at the same situation. One sees failure, the other sees opportunity. What's the difference? Perspective. If you train yourself to look for possibilities, your mind will become a magnet for solutions instead of problems. Your emotions influence your thoughts. If you let frustration or fear control your mind, you'll make poor decisions. The key is to step back and discipline yourself. When something happens, ask, what's the best way to think about this? Master your emotions and you'll master your thinking. You don't discipline your thinking once and then forget about it. It's a daily process. Just like a muscle, your mind gets stronger with practice. The more you train it, the sharper it becomes. And when your thinking is disciplined, your life will follow. Your mind is like a garden, and every thought you entertain is a seed. Some seeds grow into strong, healthy trees that bear fruit, thoughts of confidence, vision, and possibility. Others turn into weeds, doubt, fear, and negativity that choke out the good and leave you with nothing but frustration. The key is to be the gatekeeper of your mind, to stand guard at the entrance and decide what gets in and what stays out. Too many people let just anything in. They listen to the news all day, soak in negativity from the people around them, and wonder why they feel drained. They scroll through distractions, filling their minds with meaningless noise, and then question why they struggle to focus on what truly matters. It's not a mystery. What you allow in will eventually shape the way you think, and the way you think will shape the way you live. If you want to change your life, start by being selective about the thoughts you allow to take root. Pay attention to the conversations you engage in, the books you read, and the content you consume. If something weakens your spirit, step away. If something inspires you, lean in. Just like a body that thrives on good nutrition, a mind fed with positive, empowering ideas will grow stronger every day. Discipline means having the strength to say no, to gossip, to pessimism, to distractions that lead nowhere. It means refusing to be a dumping ground for other people's fears and complaints. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing what kind of reality you want to create. When you guard your mind with intention, life becomes clearer, your decisions become sharper, and your path forward becomes unmistakable. The right thoughts will lead you to the right actions, and the right actions will create the right results. It all starts with what you allow in. Your mind is like a bank account. You can only withdraw what you deposit. If you deposit weak, doubtful, and negative thoughts, don't be surprised when all you have to pull from is fear, hesitation, and excuses. But if you deposit strength, wisdom, and vision, you'll always have something valuable to draw on when you need it most. The quality of your thinking is directly tied to the quality of what you feed your mind. Some people spend their days filling their minds with entertainment, gossip, and distractions. They know every detail about a celebrity's life, but nothing about their own potential. They can recite statistics from last night's game, but can't explain a single strategy for improving their finances, relationships, or future. And then they wonder why success seems out of reach. It's not a mystery. It's a result of misplaced focus. If you want to grow, if you want to reach new levels in life, then you must be intentional about what you allow into your mind. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to people who inspire you to reach higher. Surround yourself with voices that push you forward, not hold you back. Your mind is like soil. Whatever you plant will grow. Plant wisdom and you'll harvest clarity. Plant knowledge and you'll reap confidence. Plant discipline and you'll create success. It takes effort to seek out the right ideas, but the payoff is enormous. A single book can shift the way you see the world. A single conversation with the right person can open doors you never even knew existed. One powerful idea, well nourished, can change the entire trajectory of your life. The question is, what are you feeding your mind? Because the answer will determine what kind of life you build. The words you speak to yourself are the most powerful words you will ever hear. Your inner dialogue is the script that runs your life. It's either lifting you up or tearing you down. It's either giving you the confidence to step forward or the fear to hold back. And here's the truth. If you don't take control of it, it will take control of you. Too many people let their inner voice run on autopilot, filled with self-doubt, hesitation, and excuses. I'm not smart enough. I'll never be successful. What if I fail? They replay these thoughts over and over, never realizing they're programming their own limitations. What you tell yourself, you eventually believe, and what you believe, you act on. So if your inner dialogue is full of negativity, your life will reflect it. But the good news? You can change the script. Instead of saying, I can't do this, train yourself to say, I'm learning how. Instead of, I'm not good enough, say, I'm growing every day. Instead of, I'll probably fail, say, every challenge is making me stronger. This isn't about blind optimism. It's about directing your thoughts with purpose. The mind is a tool, and like any tool, it works best when used correctly. You must become the master of your own thinking. When a negative thought creeps in, catch it, question it, replace it with something better. The more you do this, the stronger your mindset becomes. Confidence isn't built in a day, it's built in the thousands of small moments where you choose to control your thoughts instead of letting them control you. Because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change what's possible for your life. Not everyone who talks to you deserves a seat at the table of your mind. Some people bring wisdom, encouragement, and vision. Others bring doubt, fear, and excuses. The key to building a strong life is knowing who to listen to and who to tune out. Because whether you realize it or not, the voices around you are shaping your future. There will always be those who tell you what you can't do, why your dreams are too big, or why success is reserved for someone else. They'll give you 100 reasons why it won't work, but not a single one on how it could. Some will do it out of their own fear, some out of jealousy, and some simply because they've given up on their own potential and can't stand to see you pursue yours. But here's the truth. You are not obligated to accept their version of reality. If you want to go somewhere in life, you must be ruthless about the company you keep. If a conversation weakens your spirit, step away. If someone constantly drains your energy, limit your time with them. If the people around you don't challenge you to grow, it's time to expand your circle. This isn't about arrogance, it's about protecting your mind. Because an unguarded mind is vulnerable to the wrong influences. Negative influences don't just come from people, they come from what you consume. The news that fills you with fear, the entertainment that glorifies mediocrity, the endless distractions that keep you from your goals. All of it plays a role in shaping your thinking, and your thinking shapes your actions. The simple truth is this. If you want to live a life of purpose and achievement, you must reject anything that pulls you away from it. Stand guard at the doorway of your mind. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth, who push you to become better, who inspire you to reach for more. Because the voices you listen to will either build your future or bury it. The choice is always yours. Success is never built in a day, but too many people want instant results. They want wealth without the work, rewards without the discipline, and growth without the process. But life doesn't work that way. Every great achievement is the result of years of consistent effort, and the difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: perspective. Are you thinking short-term or are you thinking long-term? Short-term thinking looks for quick wins and easy paths. It settles for immediate comfort instead of lasting fulfillment. It says, I'll skip today's workout because one day doesn't matter. I'll put off investing because there's always tomorrow. I'll spend instead of save because I want it now. But here's the problem. One day turns into a habit, and a habit turns into a lifestyle. And before you know it, years have passed, and you're wondering why you're not where you wanted to be. Long-term thinking, on the other hand, asks a different question. Where will this decision lead me in 5, 10, 20 years? It understands that every small action compounds over time. Every book you read, every healthy meal you choose, every dollar you invest, every skill you develop, it all adds up. Success is never about one big move. It's about the little things you do consistently, day after day. The key is to train your mind to think beyond today. When faced with a choice, don't just ask what feels good right now. Ask what will serve me in the future. Because the future is coming, whether you prepare for it or not. And the person you'll become 10 years from now will either thank you for the decisions you made today or wish you had done things differently. So take the long view, build your skills, invest in your future, and plant the right seeds now. Because while short-term thinkers chase temporary pleasure, long-term thinkers build legacies. And when you choose the long game, life has a way of rewarding you in ways you never imagined. Your mind is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it weakens. If you don't challenge it, it becomes lazy. And if you don't feed it the right thoughts, it will default to whatever the world throws at it. Distraction, negativity, and doubt. That's why one of the most powerful habits you can develop is a daily mental routine, a simple yet effective way to sharpen your thinking, strengthen your focus, and set the tone for your day. Too many people wake up and immediately go into reaction mode. They check their phones, scroll through the news, or let the demands of the day dictate their mood. They start the morning stressed, overwhelmed, and already behind. But success doesn't come from reacting, it comes from preparation. And preparation starts with how you set your mind each day. A daily mental routine doesn't have to be complicated, but it must be intentional. Take a few minutes each morning to reflect on your goals. Ask yourself, what am I working toward? What's my next step? Because if you don't remind yourself of where you're going, it's easy to drift off course. Read something that challenges your thinking, whether it's a book, a powerful quote, or a lesson from a mentor. The right words in the morning can change the way you approach the entire day. Take time to visualize your success. See yourself handling challenges with confidence, making progress, and moving toward your vision. What the mind rehearses, the body follows. And perhaps most importantly, set your attitude before you step out the door. Gratitude, determination, and focus aren't just feelings, they're decisions. And the more you practice them in the morning, the more they'll shape the way you respond to the rest of the day. A strong mind doesn't happen by accident. It's built by habit. Just like you wouldn't expect to stay physically strong without consistent exercise, you can't expect to stay mentally sharp without a routine. And the best part? The more you train your mind daily, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined, focused, and in control of your future. One of the greatest traps in life is assuming that what you believe today is absolutely true, that your perspective is complete, that your way of thinking doesn't need refining. But growth doesn't happen in certainty. It happens in the willingness to challenge your own assumptions, to question what you think you know, and to open your mind to new possibilities. The danger of unchallenged assumptions is that they create invisible barriers. If you believe success is only for the lucky, you won't try. If you assume wealth is for other people, you won't pursue it. If you think you're not talented enough, smart enough, or connected enough, you won't take the first step. And here's the problem. Those thoughts aren't necessarily true. They're just beliefs you've carried, often without ever stopping to examine them. The strongest minds are the ones willing to ask, is this really true, or is it just something I've accepted? Because not every belief serves you. Some of them were picked up from childhood, from fear, from failures, from people who had their own limiting beliefs. And if you don't challenge them, they become the silent rules that govern your life. The way to grow is to stay curious. Read ideas that contradict your own. Have conversations with people who see the world differently. Be willing to say maybe there's a better way, because every breakthrough in life comes when you replace an old limiting belief with a new empowering one. The mind is a tool, but like any tool, it must be sharpened. And sharpening means testing. It means breaking out of automatic thinking. It means being strong enough to admit when a belief is holding you back. Because when you do, you give yourself the freedom to expand, to improve, and to create a life far greater than the one you first assumed was possible. Opportunity is everywhere, but not everyone sees it. Some people walk through life focused only on obstacles, convinced that the world is working against them. They say times are tough, the economy is bad, or there's no way forward. They've trained their minds to look for limitations, and as a result, that's all they find. But successful people, they train themselves to see possibilities. They develop the habit of looking beyond the problem to find the opportunity. The truth is, your mind will find whatever it's trained to look for. If you focus on problems, you'll see more problems. If you focus on possibilities, you'll start seeing doors where others see walls. The difference isn't in the world itself, it's in how you choose to see it. Training yourself to see possibilities starts with changing the questions you ask. Instead of saying, "Why won't this work?" ask, "How could this work?" Instead of thinking, "I don't have the resources," ask, "How can I create the resources?" Instead of saying, "I don't know the right people," ask, "How can I add value to the people I want to meet?" The right questions direct your mind towards solutions instead of roadblocks. It also requires surrounding yourself with people who think big. If you spend time with people who only complain, you'll absorb their mindset. But if you spend time with people who see opportunities, who look for ways to grow, and who believe in possibilities, their thinking will start to shape yours. Possibility is a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. Start small. Each day, find one new way to improve something in your life. Look for opportunities in conversations, in challenges, in setbacks. The more you train your mind to see possibilities, the more they will appear. And one day, you'll realize that the life you once thought was out of reach was simply waiting for you to open your eyes. Emotions are powerful. They can drive you forward or hold you back. They can give you the strength to take action or the excuse to do nothing. The key to success isn't getting rid of emotions. It's learning how to control them so they work for you, not against you. Too many people live at the mercy of how they feel in the moment. If they wake up motivated, they take action. If they feel tired, they make excuses. If they're frustrated, they lash out. If they're discouraged, they quit. They let their emotions dictate their choices, and as a result, their lives become unpredictable. But here's the truth. Discipline is stronger than emotion. You can feel tired and still take action. You can feel frustrated and still move forward. You can feel uncertain and still make the right decision. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who always feel good. They're the ones who do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. Taking control of your emotions starts with awareness. Pay attention to how you react. When you face a challenge, do you immediately complain or do you look for a solution? When someone criticizes you, do you let it destroy your confidence or do you learn from it? When things don't go your way, do you give up or do you adjust and keep going? The way you respond in small moments determines how you'll handle the big ones. It also requires perspective. Not every problem is the end of the world. Not every setback is permanent. And not every emotion deserves a reaction. Sometimes the best thing you can do is pause, take a breath, and remind yourself that feelings come and go, but your decisions shape your future. Master your emotions and you master your life. Choose patience over frustration, discipline over doubt, and action over hesitation. Because in the end, success isn't about how you feel, it's about what you do, day in and day out, no matter what emotions show up along the way. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not something you do once and expect results. It's something you do consistently, day in and day out. Too many people treat discipline like an event, something they turn on when they need it and forget about when they don't. They get motivated for a few days, work hard for a short while, then slip back into old habits. And they wonder why their progress never lasts. The secret? Discipline isn't an event, it's a way of life. Real discipline is built in the small moments, the choices no one sees. It's getting up early when you said you would, even when you don't feel like it. It's sticking to your commitments, even when no one is watching. It's doing the hard things today so that tomorrow is easier. And the best part? The more you practice discipline, the easier it gets. It becomes automatic. The mistake most people make is relying on motivation. Motivation is great, but it's unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady. It doesn't ask how you feel, it just does what needs to be done. And once you train yourself to operate from discipline rather than emotion, everything changes. You no longer wait to feel like it, you just do it. You no longer negotiate with yourself, you commit. How do you turn discipline into a habit? Start small. Pick one area of your life, just one, and commit to being disciplined in it every single day. Maybe it's waking up at a certain time, exercising, reading, or working on your goals. Whatever it is, do it consistently, because once you prove to yourself that you can be disciplined in one area, it spills over into every other part of your life. Success isn't built on occasional effort, it's built on daily habits. And discipline is the foundation of it all. So don't treat it like a temporary burst of willpower. Make it part of who you are. Because once discipline becomes your way of life, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Your mind is your most valuable asset. It's the control center of your life, shaping your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. But here's the challenge. Your mind is always being influenced. Every conversation, every book, every piece of news, every environment you expose yourself to is feeding your thoughts. And if you're not careful, the wrong influences can take root and steer you in the wrong direction. That's why you must guard your mind like a fortress. Think of it this way. If you owned $1 million racehorse, would you feed it junk food? Would you let it lounge around all day, never train, and expect it to perform at its peak? Of course not. Yet, too many people allow their minds to be filled with negativity, fear, and distractions, then wonder why they struggle to stay focused and motivated. Guarding your mind means being intentional about what you allow in. It means choosing your influences wisely. If the people around you are constantly complaining, doubting, and settling for less, their mindset will rub off on you. If you're consuming content that reinforces fear, limitation, and mediocrity, it will shape your thinking. And if you allow small excuses to creep in, they will slowly weaken your discipline. Instead, surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to ideas that push you to become better. Seek wisdom that strengthens your resolve. Because just as negative input weakens your mind, the right input makes it stronger.